Welcome to teleSUR English. We go now live broadcast with the 20th summit of the Bolivarian Alliance for the People of Our America People's Trade Treaty that has been held in Havana, Cuba.
Estamos presentándole imágenes en directo desde el Palacio de la Revolución de La Habana, Cuba, capital del ALBA-TCP en el contexto de la 20ª cumbre de la Alianza Bolivariana para los Pueblos de Nuestra América.
We're starting a broadcast on the 20th session of ALBA-TCP directly from Havana, bringing you the latest from the event.
De la creación de este mecanismo de integración regional.
Han llegado hasta este minuto
So we have seen the arrival so far representative of members of this integrated mechanism and solidarity, this mechanism of peace, and a mechanism that bets on solidarity and integration and defense in front of the imperialist interference. Making a little bit of history, ALBA was founded in 2004 in Havana by means of a joint declaration and an agreement for the creation of this mechanism. So, in particular with the presence of Hugo Rafael Chavez and Fidel Castro. This is a mechanism that does not have a constitutional treaty. However, we're able to see the strength that it has for the countries of our region. So it would be also very useful to think about this aspect and how this group has been able to maintain itself and afloat despite the neoliberal campaigns that have hit strongly other integrating mechanism in our region. So we're waiting for the beginning of the inaugural ceremony of this ALBA-TCP Summit, and we would like to remind you of nations that integrate this mechanism. So we have Venezuela, that was part of a mechanism in very 2004, together with Cuba, Bolivia on April 2006. Nicaragua came a year later, in 2007 in January. Dominic participated in the mechanism in 2008. Antigua came into the group in 2009. St. Vincent and the Grenadines participated also in 2009, and on June 30th, St. Lucia, St. Christopher and Nieves, together with Grenada, they also joined a mechanism in 2014 after ALBA was already celebrating 10 years of foundation. We also must remember that ALBA defends the programs of Latin America and the Caribbean in the idea of an area of peace. And this comes also from the idea of CELAC, which is the Community of Caribbean Countries. But in a very smart way, they become integrated and they sign both these ideals. So, as we were saying, the ALBA-TCP defends the statements that were presented at CELAC, and we base our program on the idea of being an area of peace, in particular in front or before the aggressive actions that we live these days and the worst practices that we witness today of McCarthyism. We are able to see now the arrival of another dignitary that will participate, and this is Daniel Ortega, who is the president of Nicaragua and re-elected president of Nicaragua, who is also a very good friend of Cuba, the Caribbean, the Cuban Revolution, and the leader of the Sandinistas revolution. Daniel Ortega, who together with Rosario Murillo have had to fight all kinds of attempts of destabilization inside Nicaragua, and we have seen how they have been able to, they have tried to hit the youth, and we have in our memory the events of 2018 to destabilize the nation. So Daniel is moving towards to embrace another good friend. So that fraternal hug represents a lot in our region. So there we have Commander Daniel Ortega, who is almost closing the list of participants that gather at the entrance of the Palace of the Revolution, expecting the start of a debate session and interventions that has been planned for this 20th session of ALBA-TCP in Havana, Cuba, on December 14th, when we celebrate 17 years of materializing this project from Commander Hugo Rafael Chavez, together with his brother in ideas and battles, Commander-in-Chief Fidel Castro. Basically, his father, as he used to say. And since we were talking about these mechanisms, we could reflect about the structure, which is made up of executive body, the Presidential Council, Political Council, the Economic Implementation Council, Social Council, which, by the way, is presided over by Cuba, and the political is presided over by Venezuela, and the Council of Social Movements, which is presided by Bolivia. We also have the permanent coordination and for the equality of opportunities on international rights as well. And also we have the Committee for Defense of Nature. We were talking about Nicaragua and what they have had to face in terms of threats by the imperialism, and countries in these organizations have denounced the political and media war that continues to try to destabilize the Republic of Nicaragua, as happened in 2018. And from ALBA, it is said that the destination of Nicaragua belongs only to the people and government that has been elected for its sovereignty and without any international sanctions. Interference that we witness together with international right movements. Above all, the United States. Organized and paid organizations internally, and there are militants of the extreme right movement. because, and we can say extreme right, because their practices are extreme practices. They call themselves pacifists, but in fact they're not. So if we can talk about imperialist intervention, we can say that this has happened in particular due to the complicity of the right movements. And here we have the personality of the president of Venezuela, Nicolás Maduro Moro, who arrived last night, Monday night, and we saw that in our news. And we saw that in our news, and our people was able to see his arrival. Venezuela, that is a milestone, an important aspect within the ALBA-TCP. So we have the audio, so we can listen. So it's joy and happiness. It is joy and happiness to have. So this is first news, and we are proud that we are here talking and reflecting on what happens concerning this summit. People are very interested all the time in what they say. So this is the kind of warmth that is being lived at this moment. This is the way and the friendly manner in which Maduro greets Miguel Díaz-Canel and the Cuban hosts. He is a real representative of Venezuelan people, because people in Venezuela are just like that, friendly and warm and happy, but also with a lot of sense of belonging and love to the country and the defense of what's national. And with the entrance of the President of Venezuela, we complete the arrival of representatives of different countries that participated in the session of debate of this 20th summit that is being held in Havana on December 14, 2021. So once they have been welcomed by the top authority of the Cuban Republic, we see them all together. So we can see how the room is already ready for, in a few minutes, to start in a formal way the summit of ALBA-TCP. Those who have been witness of different events that mark expressions and transparent expressions of solidarity that characterize and that live the nations in Latin America and the Caribbean, and also the countries in the rest of the world. We have here the Cuban Institute of Friendship with the People. They have also summoned actions of solidarity with Cuba and also with other friendly nations, with our history, with our daily struggles. And we see President Nicolás Maduro now offering declarations to the accredited press that is at the Palace of the Revolution, and then they will move on to their seats in the Red Room, in this seat that will have the 20th summit of the ALBA-TCP. So this is the importance that we see of this event, as expressed by the secretary of this mechanism. The pandemic also summons us, and the pandemic also brings us together to in a way express how we have been able to reach this point and how we can continue moving ahead, because life continues and we have to adjust ourselves to the challenges that are in the future. And so this group of people have a great responsibility because they have to decide upon the destination or the destiny or the fate of their countries, and they also have to protect themselves. And we can also see how they respect all kinds of safety measures, because we are also exposed to the SARS-CoV-2, because we are exposed to also the new variants of the COVID, like Omicron, that has reached America as well. So this is the reason behind the biosecurity measures that we were talking about. And then we can see how the dignitaries and the officials attending this ceremony are already taking their seats, and they are about to start a renovation of commitment with solidarity, cooperation, integration, and defense of unity before imperialist interference. Another point to be discussed is the social debt that our countries have in the areas of politics. There will be new spaces of consultation and cooperation to create strategic alliances and also to present positions in front of third parties. Social movements that are adhered to ALBA-TCP will try to strengthen the integration. We talk about the construction of a new financial architecture and economic architecture. This means to try to create new symmetries in the areas of social development. When we make a balance of what ALBA has been able to achieve in 2021 despite the crisis, or to put it in a better way, precisely conditioned by the crisis, we can see important moments and important achievement by this organization. And this summit is like the closing of the previous meetings by ALBA, but in June we were able to make another call for this summit, and we were able to achieve 7 meetings of ministers and authorities in the areas of health, education, culture, gender communication, information, environment, and also tourism. And so we've been able to review a number of important sectors for the development of the region. And we have also seen technical meetings or communications to validate topics of the environment. Minutes ago, the president was talking about how the Caribbean has had to become strong and create actions to face the damages as a result of the weather condition and to protect ourselves. And now we have the notes of our national anthem.